owned a septic tank business. Lester knew that some of the big businesses were running sewage right into the lake. Septic tanks around South Lake were leaking and contaminating the drinking water wells. While starting a public utility district would put Lester out of business, he did what was best for the community by circulating a petition that was approved in a 79-14 in September of 1950. That vote is what formed South Tahoe Public Utility District. The first wastewater system collected and treated sewage along Highway 50 corridor and cost around $265,000 to build. It didn't take long for the town to outgrow the single pump, and in 1952, the district obtained our current site at 1275 Meadow Crest Drive. By 1956, a 50,000 gallon per day plant was constructed for just under $400,000. But Tahoe continued to boom, and by 1960, a 2.5 million gallon per day wastewater treatment plant was placed into operation. By the early 60s, the district collected sewage from 560 homes, 200 apartments, and 130 motels. In 1961, the California Department of Health warned that the district's sewage treatment methods were only temporarily adequate. Everything changed when Lahontan Regional Water Quality Control Board prohibited the direct discharge of domestic sewer, whether treated or untreated, into Lake Tahoe in '62. This was further supported by the Porter Cologne Act of '69. Instead of treating wastewater and releasing it into the basin's water table, the district had to build a pipe that would export treated wastewater up and over Luther Pass to a small reservoir in Alpine County. Exporting treated wastewater out of the basin is often cited as one of the most significant environmental advancements to protect lake clear. In 1965, at a cost of $11.5 million, the district built an advanced wastewater treatment plant, a first in the world. Visitors came from all over the world to see and sometimes taste our tertiary treated water. Despite treating wastewater to drinking water standards, the district was still required to export it out of the basin. And as such, the district needed to build really big pumps and have a place to store recycled water. Luther Pass Pump Station with filled the workload of our recycled water operations. The district built Indian Creek Reservoir in Alpine County and completed the export line in 1967. As managers of the reservoir, we introduced trout, added aeration to support aquatic life, and built a public campground and boat ramp for the public to enjoy this recycled water reservoir. With a new decade, we took on a new business. We started providing water to customers with the purchase of Tahoe's Southside Water Utility in 1974 and Tahoe Sierra Water Company in '75. By the end of the 70s, the district served almost 7,500 water connections. We would go on to purchase two more water companies, the Angora Water Company in '84 and the Tahoe Paradise Water and Gas Company in '87. In the 70s, our employees joined Local 39 International Union of Operating Engineers to ensure fair wages, working conditions, and quality of life, of which we're still a part of today. With the 70s also came a whole new suite of environmental laws, including the formation of the TRPA in 1969 and the Federal Clean Water Act of 1972 that regulates discharge of pollutants into surface water. We added breakpoint chlorination to our wastewater treatment process and once again expanded the capacity of the wastewater treatment plant to 7.5 million gallons per day. In 1985, the district reverted our wastewater treatment process from tertiary back to advanced secondary to provide stable quality effluent and future violations. To accommodate larger flows, the district built Hardy Place Dam and Reservoir, which was placed into service in 1989. Indian Creek Reservoir was converted to fresh water, and to accommodate higher demand, the wastewater treatment plant capacity expanded to 7.7 million gallons per day that it is today. Slide here. The 1990s are a turning point for the district. Under the direction of General Manager Bob Baer, we shut down the surface water filtration plant at Cold Creek and transitioned to a 100% groundwater dependent system. We started investing and upgrading our water distribution system from state line to the wide, and were awarded EPA's Wastewater Treatment Plant of the Year in '94 and again in 2001. We also partnered with Lake Tahoe Community College to build a water conservation demonstration garden that's beautiful this time of year. In 1997, President Bill Clinton and Vice President Al Gore hosted the first Lake Tahoe Summit, which brought together federal, state, and private partners and funding. Since then, partners have invested over $2.4 billion on over 400 environmental restoration projects that protect Lake Tahoe and enhance our communities, some of which the district has been a part of. Unfortunately, 1997 was also the year the gasoline additive MTBE was first discovered in the district's drinking water wells. MTBE is a suspected carcinogen and impacts the taste and odor of water at extremely low levels. As an additive to gasoline and highly soluble in water, when gas leaked out of underground storage tanks, MTBE was able to contaminate 12 out of the district's 34 wells. This impaired 36% of our water production. The district filed a lawsuit in the Superior Court of San Francisco and settled in 2002 with multiple oil companies for a combined total just over $69 million. I love the stories that are told because it was really a David and Goliath story, with two district representatives sitting in the courtroom across from a whole row of gasoline lawyers. We were the first MTBE contamination lawsuit to be tried in the US, and the district made history shaping national, environmental, and energy law. This is Ivo Bergson, our hydrogeologist on the case. All right, into the 2000s. Ownership of Rich Solbrig, the 2000s saw the replacement of A, B, and C water export line and new pumping facilities. These upgrades were integral to avoid future geysers like this one. On 9/11, the world changed forever, and the district responded by increasing security around the plant and switching from elemental chlorine to sodium hypochlorite. In response to MTBE, we shut down over 12 wells and built many new ones, including Valhalla, Glenwood 5, Elks Club 2, South Upper Truckee 3, Arrowhead 3, and our largest producer in operation today, Bayview. In 2004, our wastewater operations became 100% recycled with the construction of our biosolids building and the road out to Al Tahoe. Instead of burning biosolids, the district now trucks them to Bentley Agrodynamics in Minden to be used as compost. This same year, we also expanded our odor control measures by covering our primary clarifiers and being good neighbors to Lake Tahoe Community College. In 2006, we moved into our new customer service facility and acquired 1,400 acres in Alpine County. The acquisition of Diamond Valley Ranch ensures that the district is able to comply with state and federal laws by storing and utilizing recycled water out of the basin. It also offers endless possibilities for farming and renewable energy. For those that were here, I'm sure we all remember 2007. Our crews valiantly responded to the Angora fire, dodging flames and working with firefighters to keep water flowing. Our community lost 242 homes in the fire that week. And despite the devastation, the water and fire agencies rallied to form the Lake Tahoe Community Fire Prevention Partnership. This partnership has been successful at securing millions in grant funds for fire suppression infrastructure and projects over the years. On to the 2010s, the next decade saw new challenges. California experienced some of the driest years on record from 2013 to 15, which resulted in multiple strict conservation laws. Ahead of the times, the district already had designated watering days and a multifaceted water conservation program in place, including rebates for toilets, clothes washers, and lawnmowers. The district's expansive meter installation program also helped promote conservation. Over the last 10 years, the district has focused on complying with state-mandated water meter installations. This has included 8 separate projects installing over 9,200 meters at a cost of $24 million. Luckily, we have received $8.2 million in state and federal grants to offset project costs while relying on low-interest loans for the remainder of the project. By the end of 2020, over 90% of the district's 14,000 water customer accounts will be metered. We also secured grants to automate our meter reading infrastructure and launched the WaterSmart portal for customers to view their water use and receive real-time leak notifications. We continue to replace and upsize water lines and install hydrants to protect our community from fires, and just removed hazardous fuels on the 100 acres surrounding the wastewater treatment. All right. Over the last 10 years, there have been numerous upgrades at the wastewater treatment plant, including the demolition including demolishing the incinerator and primary buildings, lining the emergency retention basin, rehabilitating the filters, primary clarifiers, and aeration basins, completing the new headworks buildings that has extensive odor control functions, replacing the original electrical switchgear, and building a 2-megawatt emergency generator to ensure the district can operate amid long-term power outage. As of 2020, the district has gone for 25 years with no violations of our wastewater discharge permit, a momentous feat in the wastewater industry. On our sewer collection system, we've also made numerous advancements, including converting the Fallen Leaf Lake vacuum system to electric, helping to minimize odor and improve reliability of this notoriously problematic and hard-to-get-to system. To continue reliably exporting recycled water, we have also rehabilitated pumps, replaced motors, upgraded controls, and installed a new emergency generator facility at Luther Pass Pump Station, the behemoth pump in our system. Last year, Luther Pass Pump Station pumped 1.4 billion gallons of recycled water out of the basin. In 2018, the dreams of producing hydroelectricity from water flowing down Luther Pass via the sea line became a reality. And we started cultivating alfalfa using recycled water out of Diamond Valley Ranch. In 1989, PCE, a man-made chemical that was used as a solvent for dry cleaning clothes and degreasing metals, was found in South Lake's groundwater at the Y. The contaminant plume covers more than 400 acres and continues to flow towards the lake. In 2014, multiple Lupin Brothers Water Company wells were impaired by PCE, and we opened our connection valve with Lupin to ensure our entire community has access to safe, clean drinking water. Thankfully, to date, none of the district wells are impacted, and we continue to have exceptional water quality. As the Groundwater Sustainability Agency for our aquifer, we work with regional partners to sustainably manage this shared resource. I think we would all agree that our drinking water is some of the tastiest in the world, and our state-of-the-art laboratory is an important part of that process. Over the last 20 years, the lab has drastically reduced the amount of hazardous, biological, and heavy metal waste it produces, and continues to use cleaner and more efficient sampling methods. This is all while continuing to meet ever-increasing drinking water standard requirements. While wells, pumps, and poop might steal the spotlight, there has been a steadfast behind-the-scenes team working to ensure financial reliability and success. For the last 25 years, the district has received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for our comprehensive annual financial report, and has received nearly perfect annual reports from the independent auditors due to the professional, ethical, and highly competent members of the finance department. Over the last 15 years, the district has successfully secured over $50 million in grant funds for meters, water lines, fire hydrants, fuel reduction efforts, and other projects that improve our system and save our ratepayers money. Our customers and the board recognize the need to upgrade its aging infrastructure and have approved 2 5-year Prop 218 rate proposals to maintain a reliable system for future generations. For almost 2 years, we've been under the leadership of our new general manager, John Teal, a 28-year veteran at the district. 2020 has been an unprecedented year with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in March, altering field operations and driving of COVID-19. All right. Here we go. The board graciously adopted a COVID-19 rate relief program and continues to waive late fees to help customers facing financial hardship. Despite the challenges, the district continues to provide reliable wastewater services and high-quality drinking water to our entire community. As of today, the district is made up of 112 dedicated employees with a $50 million annual budget, $139 million planned for our 10-year capital improvement program, and maintains $1.5 billion in assets. The district is nothing without the dedicated, skilled, and amazing staff. The people have always been what drives our district and will continue to do so for decades. What would a 50th anniversary celebration be without reminiscing on some amazing mustaches, colleagues, that have made this the best place to work? Let's check out some of the district's former crew of the years. All right, at the top left, we've got Cliff Smile in equipment repair, still making sure our vehicles are running smoothly. Top right, we have the very serious village people, administration department. Bottom left is our pumps department. Only one remains, Chris Morida, but we all know that in a pinch, a bunch of these retirees would still step in to help. Bottom right is our operations department. We've got Jeff Lee, slightly cut off, who now manages our entire wastewater, who manages our operations, and Phil Trella, great hair, as well as Doug Murrock, still representing the district. This is when I wish we could all be together to hear the snide remarks of working as a team for so long. Next, we have in the top, you see our department. Susan and Debbie are still here today. Top right is our electricians. Ronnie Williams is still working with us today with a whole different crew. And bottom left, check out our baby face Don Teal with engineering. I call this bottom left engineering department a more mature department than maybe what we have today on the bottom right. I promised some good mustaches, and Stanley certainly never disappoints. But we've got a few other folks in underground repair that are still with us today. In the top left, you'll see Doug and Tom. We also have we used to joke that in the lab, the only way to get a job was to check the obituaries because the department had been there for so long. And while we really miss the Powers, Brian, Dan, and Dolores are still in the lab making sure that our water is delicious and safe to drink. And then bottom right, customer service. We have a whole new slew of faces except our jovial and ever hilarious Cuz Cullen. And check out our current finance department. They can really be scary. Moving on, we've got water in the top left. I just love this picture of Doug, our sewer supervisor in the bottom left. And then check out heavy maintenance. I think it's changed a little bit over the years. but we still have some of our original crew with us today. Although Jay Alsbury, I think today is your last day with us. Everyone's crying. All right, moving on to some of the top left is our operators. They work 24/7 to make sure our wastewater treatment plant is running smoothly. Bottom left is our sewer crews. Top right is finance, those behind the scene folks making sure that everything's running smoothly. And then bottom right is another one of pumps. Here we've got babyface Jeremy, who's our pump supervisor now, and still Chris Morita on the team. Okay, moving on. These are a few more recent photos. We've got a serious picture of customer service in the top right, and maybe a not so serious photo on the bottom, top left, and a not so serious photo on the bottom left. IT top right, we have a few new faces since this photo was taken. They've been instrumental as the district moved to a remote work situation in the times of COVID. And bottom right is the lab. A few more good ones for you guys. We have our electrician still here, the top left in maroon, but the rest of the crew is all new since our last electrician photo. Our all-star water crew in the top right. A lot of these guys aren't on the call today because they're in front of my house fixing a water leak. Our bottom left is our HR department. Nancy Hessman just retired after an entire career at the district, and Liz Kaufman, our newly appointed HR director. And of course, Garth and Matt being as always. And while our staff has been incredibly instrumental in all the successes over the years, so has our board. Our board has always been able to look to the future and find that balance of how to invest in our system to make it reliable for future generations, while also balancing the cost component. What can our community afford? Dwayne Wallace, top left, joined our board in 1991. I couldn't find a picture from that year, so this one's from 95, I believe. On the bottom left, Mr. Cephalou joined our board in 2009 and is continuing to do great work today. And top right is when both Kelly Sheehan and Randy Vogelsang joined our board in 2011. Bottom right is our board, well, not exactly, is almost our board of today. Nick Etzline joined our board in 2008, and sadly, we lost Jim Jones this year, a long-term board member who was a staunch advocate for investing in the district's infrastructure. We know that Randy won't be with us when the election comes, but we'll see what happens come November. We wish you all. Our board has been exceptional, and I'm sure will continue to be in the future. Oh, look, I did circle those faces. Dwayne, Chris, Kelly and Randy, and of course Nick as well. And that wraps up our walk down memory lane. Josh, talk about where we've been and where we're going.
Well, thanks, Shelley. Great photos. Those are some classic pics for sure. I like the cruise of the year. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So thanks for taking us through that 70-year timeline, Shelley. It's quite an impressive story for all of us to tell and be a part of and be proud of. And what about the future of the district, our future? What about the next 70 years? Well, that's a ways off. But as I think about our near future, say the next 5 to 10 years even, there's so much to look forward to. Many challenges, but I think so many more opportunities. I think we'll see major district-wide fire protection improvements finally taking shape, more water lines and hydrants, and all of our facilities fire safe with hardened structures and fuels management on all of our sites to be completed actually within the next 3 years. Very exciting. An acceleration of our asset management programs with life cycle management for all major facilities. A renewed focus on our aging linear assets with waterline replacements and collection system improvements. I think we'll see finishing most of the remaining major plant projects and a solar facility at the treatment plant. I think starting next year with a 1 megawatt facility, it looks like the numbers are going to be there, perhaps growing to 5 megawatts, and this would provide a 100% power offset for the entire treatment plant, and then perhaps to an expanding fleet of electric vehicles. Expanded information technology, putting information in our hands instead of the steering wheel, connecting people with system data and analytics, making better decisions without driving all over town to every facility. I think we'll see the development of a new recycled water master plan, perhaps implementing the newest technologies to completely and reliably purify recycled water for potential in-basin reuse or groundwater injection. And powered by the sun. We have a lot of land out back just soaking up the sun, and I think the numbers are there. And working with our community as proactive partners, strategic partners, to clean PCE from our groundwater, develop affordable housing and renewable energy, seek efficiencies and economies of scale by working with local agencies, improve fire protection, and work together to expand state and federal funding for fire protection and improving our aging water and sewer infrastructure, working together. And together, I'm confident that we'll be providing clean, safe, reliable, cost-effective water, wastewater, recycled water services, and generating clean power into the next 70 years. Thank you to all of our staff, past and present, our board members, and our community and regional partners. Thank you for all you have done to get us here and take us there. Thank you. Back to you, Shelley.
Awesome, thanks, John. I know that in a perfect world, we'd all be in the boardroom celebrating, reminiscing, hugging, shaking hands, and telling stories. But with COVID, we have a new reality, and I'm happy that we're able to at least take this time to remember a great 70 years virtually.